Every year, Mars produces over 400 million individual M&Ms every single day. That's right, billions each week. But among all the varieties, almond M&Ms hold a special place. Crunchy, nutty, and coated in that iconic candy shell. It all begins with the almonds. And not just any almonds. Mars uses premium, California-grown, which come from the very state that produces nearly 80% of the world's entire almond supply. These almonds are picked at peak ripeness and immediately sent through a sorting process. First, they're cleaned and blanched, which means their skins are removed using a quick dip in hot water. After that, the almonds head into massive roasting ovens, where they're toasted at around 302 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 to 15 minutes. This step isn't just for flavor, it's critical for texture and structure. Roasting not only brings out that deep, nutty taste we all love, but also removes moisture, which is super important. If there's even a little bit of moisture left inside, the chocolate and candy shell won't stick properly and the whole M&M could crack. But Mars doesn't stop there. They use high-tech optical sorters, machines with high-speed cameras and lasers, to spot and remove any almonds that are chipped, discolored, or oddly shaped. Only the smoothest, crunchiest, best-looking almonds make it into the next phase. Kinda wild, right? That little almond inside your M&M went through all that just to make it snack-worthy. Once the almonds are ready, they head to the chocolate enrobing machine, a giant drum where they tumble under cascades of melted milk chocolate. Almond M&Ms use a milk chocolate blend designed to flow smoothly yet set firmly, typically containing about 30% cocoa solids. This coating process is delicate. The almonds spin and roll to ensure even coverage, often receiving several thin chocolate layers rather than one thick coat. Each layer is cooled before the next is added, a method called panning. Here's a fun question for you. Do you know how many thin layers it takes to achieve the perfect chocolate coat on each almond? Drop your guesses in the comments. We'll reveal the answer at the end. Now we've reached the part that makes M&Ms instantly recognizable. Yes, you are thinking right, that colorful, crunchy shell. Once the almonds are coated in chocolate, they head into large rotating pans where the magic continues. A sweet syrup made from sugar, food coloring, and a bit of starch is gently sprayed onto the spinning almonds. But this isn't a quick coat-and-done process. The candy shell is built up slowly, one paper-thin layer at a time. Each layer is allowed to dry before the next is added, and this continues for several rounds, often 12 or more, until the candy reaches just the right thickness. That's what gives almond M&Ms their smooth texture and that satisfying crunch when you bite down. And the colors? They're not random. Mars uses a carefully selected set of food-safe dyes like Red 40, Yellow 6, and Blue 1 to create those iconic shades. Every batch gets a perfect mix to ensure variety in every bag. And of course, no M&M is complete without its tiny M logo. Each candy passes under a machine that prints the letter using edible white ink, and M&M just wouldn't feel right without it. Simple on the outside, but seriously precise on the inside. With their candy shells fully formed, the almond M&Ms are almost ready, but they're not done just yet. Before they're bagged up and sent around the world, they need to shine. Literally. The candies go through a polishing phase where food-grade waxes like carnauba wax, the same stuff used to make apples look shiny, are added into the tumbling drums. As the candies spin, the wax coats each one, creating that smooth, glossy finish you recognize instantly. It's not just about looks. Either the wax helps protect the candy during packaging and shipping, too. Then comes quality control, and Mars doesn't play around here. Each M&M is inspected using a mix of human eyes and smart machines. Automated sorters use lasers and cameras to flag any pieces that are cracked, chipped, discolored, or oddly shaped. If it's not perfect, it doesn't clear out that area, strictly. Wondering how fast these factories work? Mars can produce up to 2 billion M&Ms every 8 hours across all varieties. But no matter how fast they go, only the best-looking almond M&Ms move on to the final phase. Perfection in every handful, that's the goal. With the polishing done and every almond M&M inspected to perfection, it's time for the final step, packaging. And just like everything else in the process, this part is fast, precise, and highly automated. The candies are funneled into packaging machines that weigh and portion them into the right sizes. Whether it's a small snack-size bag, a movie theater box, or a bulk pack built for sharing. Each package is heat-sealed in seconds, making sure the product stays fresh and protected from moisture or air. But there's more happening behind the scenes. Every bag or box gets labeled with a barcode and a batch code. These tiny details are crucial for tracking. If there's ever a manufacturing issue, Mars can trace it all the way back to the exact day, time, and machine the batch came from. Once sealed, the finished products are loaded onto pallets and prepped for global distribution. Mars ships Almond M&Ms to over 100 countries, delivering that iconic crunch to shelves from New York to Tokyo. It's kind of amazing when you think about it. A little almond from California, coated in chocolate and sugar, making its way across the planet just to end up in your hand. Curious to know what happens to the almond M&Ms that don't pass the benchmark? Or the leftover almond pulp from earlier in the process? You might think it all goes to waste, but in a factory this efficient, almost nothing is truly wasted. First, any almond M&Ms that are chipped, misshapen, or off-color during quality control are collected and sorted. Many of these seconds are not thrown out but repurposed. Some are ground down and reused in other chocolate-based products internally, while others may be sold to partner companies for use in ice cream, baked goods, or trail mixes, always following food safety standards. As for the almond skins and pulp removed during blanching, these byproducts are often recycled into animal feed or compost. Some facilities also send this organic material to biofuel plants where it's converted into energy. From start to finish, the process is impressively clean, thoughtful, and surprisingly circular. So, how did Almond M&Ms come into existence? Regular M&Ms were first created during World War II as a solution for soldiers. A chocolate that wouldn't melt in their hands, thanks to that signature candy shell. They were an instant hit, and after the war, they became a household name. But it wasn't until 1988 that the almond version made its debut. Mars saw an opportunity to offer something a little more refined, a treat for chocolate lovers who also craved that rich, nutty crunch. By combining a whole roasted almond, smooth milk chocolate, and the classic candy shell, they struck a winning formula that felt a little more grown-up, yet just as fun. Almond M&Ms quickly earned their place in the lineup, joining other iconic varieties like peanut, peanut butter, and crispy. And while they don't outsell the peanut version, Almond M&Ms have built a loyal following, especially in the US and Australia, where their popularity has held strong for decades. They might have arrived later, but for many fans, Almond M&Ms are the ultimate blend of crunch, chocolate, and nostalgia. Alright, time to reveal the answer to that question at the start. How many thin layers it takes to achieve the perfect chocolate coat on each almond? On average, Almond M&Ms receive about 12 thin candy shell layers before they reach that perfect, crunchy finish. And that's the incredible journey behind every Almond M&M, a masterclass in precision, flavor, and engineering.
There's something undeniably satisfying about peanut M&Ms. The crunch of the shell, the smooth, creamy chocolate, and that perfectly roasted peanut at the center. But what seems like a simple snack is actually the result of high-tech precision and candy-making mastery. Every single M&M goes through a careful process, from hand-picking the best peanuts to layering rich chocolate and sealing it all under that signature colorful shell. And here's a fun fact you definitely wouldn't know about. M&Ms were originally made for soldiers in World War II, designed to resist melting in the heat. That same trick still works today. So, how does a factory produce millions of these little treats every single day, ensuring each one is just as crunchy, chocolatey, and perfectly round as the last? Let's step inside and find out. But before we continue, hit that subscribe and tap the bell icon to see more behind-the-scenes looks at your favorite snacks, so you don't miss out. Step 1. Peanut selection. Before a peanut becomes the crunchy center of a peanut M&M, it has to meet strict quality standards. Mars, the company behind M&Ms, follows a rigorous selection process to ensure that only uniform, high-quality peanuts are used. The process starts with sourcing runner peanuts, a variety known for its consistent size and mild, nutty flavor. Each peanut must be approximately half an inch in diameter to ensure even chocolate coating later in production. Peanuts that are too large may not roll properly in the coating machines, while smaller ones can disrupt the chocolate-to-nut ratio. After harvesting, the peanuts go through multiple sorting steps. A mechanical sieve first removes any that are too small or misshapen. Then they pass through high-speed optical sensors, which scan each peanut using infrared technology and high-resolution cameras. These sensors detect cracks, irregularities, or other defects, ensuring that only the best peanuts continue in the process. Any peanuts that don't meet the standard are removed and repurposed for peanut butter or other peanut-based products, minimizing waste. Once sorted, the selected peanuts move through air-powered conveyor systems, which transport them efficiently while keeping them free from contamination. This step ensures that only clean, uniform, and structurally sound peanuts reach the next stage. Step 2. Roasting. Roasting is a critical step that enhances the flavor and crunch of the peanuts before they are coated in chocolate. The selected peanuts are fed into industrial rotating ovens, where they are roasted at a precise 320 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 minutes. These ovens use convection heating, circulating hot air evenly to ensure consistent roasting. Inside, automated stirring mechanisms keep the peanuts moving to prevent scorching or uneven cooking. Roasting does more than develop flavor. It also reduces the moisture content of the peanuts to below 2%, which helps preserve the crunch over time. However, because rotating causes slight shrinkage, the peanuts must be properly sized beforehand to ensure the final product remains uniform. After roasting, the peanuts are rapidly cooled using high-speed air jets. This prevents over-roasting and helps lock in freshness. At this stage, they are now ready for the next step in the M&M making process, the first layer of chocolate coating. Step 3. Chocolate coating. This process takes place in large, stainless steel tumblers, quite similar to cement mixers, if the cement is made of chocolate and deliciousness. The chocolate itself is a carefully formulated blend of cocoa butter, sugar, whole milk, and chocolate liquor, heated to 95 degrees Fahrenheit to maintain the perfect consistency for coating. The peanuts don't just get dunked in chocolate all at once. Coating happens in layers, usually 5 to 6 thin layers, to build up a uniform shell around the peanut. Inside the tumblers, the peanuts are constantly rotating, while thin streams of chocolate are poured in gradually. This slow layering technique prevents clumping and ensures that each peanut ends up with an even 5mm chocolate shell. The tumblers rotate at a carefully controlled speed, preventing peanuts from sticking together and allowing each one to get its fair share of chocolate. After the final chocolate layer is applied, the coated peanuts pass through an automated quality control system. High-speed cameras and laser sensors scan each piece, checking for misshapen or uneven coatings. Any imperfect chocolates are either reprocessed to smooth out their shape or removed from production. With the peanuts now fully coated in chocolate, the next step is to harden and stabilize the coating before adding the iconic candy shell. Step 4. Cooling and hardening the chocolate. Once coated, the chocolate-covered peanuts enter a temperature-controlled cooling system designed to harden the chocolate gradually. These chocolates travel through a network of cooling tunnels, where high-powered fans circulate cold, dry air to bring down the temperature slowly and evenly. Cooling too fast can cause the chocolate to crack, while cooling too slowly can lead to fat bloom, a process where cocoa butter rises to the surface, creating an unwanted white, chalky appearance. To prevent these issues, factory sensors precisely regulate temperature and humidity, keeping the cooling process stable and predictable. Typically, the cooling tunnels maintain temperatures between 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. The chocolates spend several minutes inside, allowing them to firm up while retaining a smooth, glossy surface. Step 5. Coating. Now comes the part that makes peanut M&Ms instantly recognizable: their crisp, colorful candy shell. This step happens inside massive rotating drums. As the chocolate-coated peanuts tumble around, They're slowly coated with a thin sugar syrup made from liquid sugar, corn syrup, and a natural food coloring. This process isn't as simple as just dunking them in sugar. Each peanut gets about 8 to 10 incredibly thin layers, with warm air gently blown over them between coats. This careful layering prevents the shell from becoming too thick or brittle. If the process moves too fast, cracks can form. Too slow, and the candy won't achieve its smooth, glossy finish. But here's something you might not have noticed. M&Ms don't come in a random mix of colors. Every batch follows a strict color ratio: 30% brown, 20% yellow, 20% red, 10% blue, 10% green, and 10% orange. That's right. The next time you open a pack, count them and see for yourself. High-tech dispensers carefully control how much of each color is added, ensuring every handful has the perfect balance. Once the candy shells have hardened and taken on their signature shine, the M&Ms look almost complete. Something is still missing. Can you guess what it is? Step 6. Stamping the logo. Yes! The final step in making peanut M&Ms instantly recognizable and stamping each one with the signature white M. This is done using a high-speed food-grade inkjet printer that can stamp over 2.5 million M&Ms per hour. Each candy must be perfectly aligned before stamping, so a precise conveyor system with optical sensors ensures that every M is printed in the correct position. The ink itself is vegetable-based and completely edible, meeting strict food safety standards. But not every M&M makes it through perfectly. If an M&M is missing its M, it's automatically sent back for reprocessing, ensuring that only flawless candies make it to the bag. Step 7. Final quality check and packaging. With the M stamped and the candy shells hardened, the peanut M&Ms are almost ready. But before they leave the factory, they must pass one last round of testing. As they race down conveyor belts, they pass through an automated quality control system, equipped with high-speed cameras, laser scanners, and X-ray detectors. These machines check for size, shape, and color distribution, ensuring that every bag has the perfect mix of M&Ms. Any candies that are cracked or missing their shell are automatically removed from the batch. Once they pass inspection, the M&Ms move into the packaging phase. Precision sorting machines measure exact portions, ensuring every bag contains the right amount. Then, high-speed filling machines seal them in airtight packaging, locking in freshness and crunch. For added quality assurance, random samples are pulled for a final taste test by trained specialists. If something doesn't meet the company's strict standards, the batch is discarded. With every bag sealed and every candy passing the test, these peanut M&Ms are finally ready to end up on store shelves, inside a vending machine, or in your candy bowl. And just like that, a simple peanut transforms into the crunchy, chocolatey M&Ms we all love. So next time you pop one in your mouth, you'll know there's an entire process behind that perfect crunch: roasting, coating, and of course, that little M stamp. What's your favorite M&M's flavor? Classic peanut, crispy, or something a little different? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you found this video interesting, share it with another candy lover, and let us know which product to uncover next. Before you go, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to see what video we will uncover next. See you next time.